everyone. So I think this is the start of a new vlog, because I think the last one I filmed like the end clip on it. I'm pretty sure I did. I hope I did, otherwise I'm just probably not making any sense. So it is Tuesday the 14th of August and it's like almost 6 o'clock. I feel like there's a hair here. Are you imagining it? No, it's there. Why can't I get it? Oh, there you go. I saw my doctor yesterday. I'm more stressed out from seeing her. Like, she didn't really stress me out. It was the fact that I felt like she was constantly rushing me, and I had a double appointment, and appointments used to be 15 minutes long or 30 if it was a double. So she called me in 10 minutes early, like I got there 20 minutes early, and I thought, oh, she's got a patient in, and sat there for about 10 minutes and she came out and called me in. So she didn't have a patient in, and I weren't due in for another 10 minutes, so I thought, oh, I'm going to get extra time here, because she used to give me extra time like when she was ahead. So I'm sat there and I'm talking to her, and it just felt like she was constantly trying to get rid of me, and I was like trying to talk about more stuff, and it was like she was constantly like she gave me my prescription, and it was like she'd finished, and I was like trying to tell her more stuff, and because I felt like she was in a hurry, I felt like I couldn't talk to her about what I wanted to talk about, so I kind of skirted around the issue and talked about other things, when I went in to talk about a lot of stuff thinking, oh, I've got a half an hour appointment. So I just felt like I was kind of fighting against her in a way. Like, I felt like she was trying to finish her appointment early, even though, as far as I was aware, my appointment was half an hour long. So eventually I gave up trying to tell her what the main thing I went in to talk about, because sometimes I struggle like opening up about things, so I kind of leave the most important stuff and work up to it. So I went and booked my next appointment, because she told me to see her on the 28th, which was like 2 weeks and a day later. So I went and tried to book that, and she's like, she's off. And I'm like, she just told me to book that day. She must have known she was off. So I was like, what about the day before? She's like, it's bank holiday. I'm like, okay. But my medication runs out on the 28th. Like, I have none for the 28th. And she's like, well, the soonest I've got an appointment is on the Thursday if you want a double appointment. So I'm like, I'll book that. I'm like, but I don't know what I'm meant to do about medication, because she wanted to see me. So I left, and I weren't happy, like, because I had so much more I needed to talk to my doctor. So I went, and what did I do? Oh, when I got home, my dad got home not long after me, and I went, can you look online to see when the next available appointment is, because I'm no longer able to get on the online appointment thing. I'm not going to get into why. And he's like, yeah, I'll go on. And the next appointment was next Thursday, not Thursday this week, next Thursday. So he said, I'll book it, and then I'll cancel it, and then you can book it tomorrow just after I've cancelled it, so no one else can get it. And I said I could really do with seeing her before then, and he's like, well, there's no other appointments available. And he said, and it's saying they're only 10 minutes long. I said, but they used to be 15 minutes long, because they were once 10 minutes long, and then at the start of the year they got changed to 15 minutes long. And I went, 10 minutes is not a long enough appointment. I said, I know there's some people who'll be in and out in 5 minutes. Like, you know, I've been there when people have been in and out in 5 minutes. I said, but when I've been there, like, even if I've gone about one thing, you know, I've been in 10-15 minutes about one thing. And I said, a lot of the time I have a lot to say, I have a lot to talk about, because it's not just my physical stuff I talk about. A lot of the time I do talk about, well, it's mainly the police and what they've done recently to stress me out. That's mainly what they've done in the past to stress me out, because it still really affects me. So I was like, why have they gone back to 10 minutes? And he said it's probably because people are moaning they can't get appointments. I said, you can't get an appointment anyway, because I couldn't get an appointment with my doctor for 2.5 weeks when she wanted to see me 2 weeks and a day later. Like, I know they're going to be closed bank holiday Monday, but she's off the Tuesday. And I said, like, can you look to see if there's anything on the Friday before the bank holiday? Like, Friday the whatever it would be, like, would it be like the 25th or something? Or the 24th, I think it is. And he said it says there's no appointments available for that day. I said, but when I walked in that day, it said that they were only closed on the Monday. And he said, well, obviously there's no appointments on the Friday then either, is there? And I'm like, so I'm going to run out of medication. I couldn't speak to about everything that I wanted because she rushed me. And I was in there only 15 minutes, even though if you go by the fact that the 10-minute appointments, I should have had 20 minutes. I'm like, I don't know what they're playing at. They need to get another doctor there because there's not enough doctors there, and they've got over 5,000 patients and they're still taking on. Like, I don't understand why they're taking on when it's difficult to get an appointment. And like, even the main partner whose practice it is, because my doctor's a partner but she's not the main partner, he's made comments like you can get an appointment the same week or early the next week at the latest. And I'm like, no, it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get an appointment there. Like, they don't have enough doctors. There's 3 doctors and they're all part-time. Like, my doctor does 3.5 days, the other female doctor does either 3 or 3.5, and he does 2 days. I'm like, they've got over 5,000 patients. That is clearly not enough. They used to have like a nurse practitioner once upon a time, because I remember, God, it was years ago, I'd seen her a couple of times, and then she can prescribe stuff, but then she has to get the doctor to sign it before you can go and get it. But they just don't have anything. And like, there used to be another male doctor there who never listened to your symptoms. He was terrible. Like, I saw him a couple of times, and like, I'd be talking to him and he'd like cut me off when I was telling him the most important symptoms, and then he'd talk over me and he just wouldn't really listen. He'd just listen to a little bit of it and then prescribe whatever he prescribed. And apparently he's not there anymore, so they're cutting down the appointment time so they can see more. But what's happening is we can't get appointments when we need appointments, basically. So I went in today to try and book that appointment, and my dad cancelled it just before I walked in so I could say, can I have that one? And I thought, because I know the receptionists see different appointments to the online ones, so sometimes you can get in quicker. So I said, is there any appointments available this week or next week with my doctor? Like, I'm not going to say a name on here. And she's like, I'll look when the next one's available. She's like, there's not one until the 30th. And I'm like, that's like the day I've got an appointment, so I don't really want another one for that day. I said, I really need to see you. She's like, well, there's no appointment. I said, but there's an online one for next Thursday. Can I not have that? And she's like, well, I can't book it. I'm like, why can't you book it? She's like, I can view them, but I can't book them. You would have to book it yourself. And I went, but I can't get online. I said, I can't get online anymore. And she's like, well, I'll print off a new password for you to go on. And I'm like, okay. So she prints this thing off and hands it to me, and I said, is there not going to be any appointments come up from my doctor? And she's like, well, sometimes we get cancellations. I said, is that likely to happen, or does it happen often? She said, it's likely to happen. And I said, well, what's the best time to ring? She went around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm thinking, they're not going to want me to ring at that time because triage is until 11. And other receptionists tell you to ring after 11 for stuff because people are ringing up for triage at that time. So I went, is the one likely to come up? And she said, I think there will be, just keep ringing. And I said, thank you. And she just ignored me, and I just went by and left. So I came out and I was like, I rang my dad and I'm like, that appointment's not available anymore. She's saying that she can't book the online ones. And he went, well, I'm going to go back on and book it, and then you're going to try and get it. I said, but I can't even get online. I said, but she's given me this thing so I can get online. So I went and sat in my car, and it started to rain as I was walking back to my car, and I got in and it like just like really heavy rain. So I thought, I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes while the rain like settles or not. If it doesn't settle, obviously I'm going to have to go anyway. So I sat there and I looked at this piece of paper, and I'm looking at the password and the user login ID and stuff, and I thought, I'll do this when I get home. and I'll see if I'm able to book appointments via the online thing, because my doctor wants me to actually book them in person. That's why I can't book them online. So that's why I can't get on the online thing, and I got told I still should be able to access my online thing, and I can't get on. So I thought I'll just go on and have a look, and I was sat there ages, and then I noticed on the piece of paper that she gave me, she's actually given me someone else's login ID. So basically she has breached patient confidentiality, because I can now go online onto someone else's medical history, and it'll have the name and the address, the phone number, everything on there. And I was like, oh my god. And I was gonna go walk back up when the rain went and like tell her what she'd done, and my dad was like, no, you're not gonna go and tell her, because what she'll do is she'll put that in the bin and pretend it didn't happen, when what she's actually done is actually broken the law and broken the rules of what she does. He said she's literally broken the patient confidentiality agreement, and you know, she's going to probably get in a lot of trouble for doing that. He said you need to be careful about which one of them you tell, and he said there's no point telling any of the other reception staff, because they'll all cover for each other because they're a team. And I said, well, should I wait until I see my doctor next, because you know, I know she's a doctor, but she doesn't always act on things. Like when I've complained before, she's made up excuses for some of the things, but I think she will take this very seriously, because like my dad said to me, he said if like someone had got access to my online record, I wouldn't be happy. He said I'd be really angry at that, and I'd be putting in a lot of complaints. And I said, well, she's always been quite difficult with me, because when I went like 2 weeks this Thursday, when I was really unwell, and when I've not talked about what happened, but there's a vlog that said that I couldn't cope and I ended up at my doctor's or something like that. I think that's what it's called, where I ended up at my doctor. That was the receptionist who wouldn't let me see the doctor. And it wasn't about seeing the doctor, it was about getting a message to the doctor. She had actually refused to pass a message on to my doctor, and I was trying to tell her what was wrong with me and what was going on, because I was in a right state. And I'm still not going to talk about it, because I don't want to talk about it, because it doesn't affect my mental health. And maybe one day I'll get in the position where I'm able to talk about and discuss what went on that day, but at the moment, for my own mental well-being, I can't. And I was trying to explain to her like what was going on and how bad I was feeling, and she's like, she wouldn't put the message through, and it was only because of the other receptionist in the back room that the message went through, and that my doctor knew there's absolutely no way I'm just going in just for a laugh. And she saw me and she knew it was serious. And like I said to my dad, like the way I felt that day, I was worried what I were going to do. And like if she would have dismissed me the way she was dismissing me and refusing to like tell the doctor, I do believe I probably wouldn't be here today. Like the way I felt that day, I couldn't cope with it, and I do believe I would have took my own life. So she's actually playing God here. Like if someone's there telling you what's going on with them, and like it's not easy for me to reveal stuff like that, but when I weren't getting anywhere with her, I was actually trying to tell her things, and she just kept cutting me off, and she just didn't want to know. And now she's giving me a piece of paper that will let me go on to someone else's private medical history and access and like book appointments and like find out addresses and all sorts. And I've not gone on it, but my dad's like, you need to be careful who you go to about this. And I said I'm probably going to have to go to the doctor, because the practice manager never seems to be there. I've never even met the practice manager, like I've never even seen her. Like I know she's there sometimes, but I know normally she would be the person who I'd go to, but I just feel like I'm just going to have to tell my doctor what's gone on, and I'm going to have to tell her the difficulty I had the other week, because when I did get to see her, I was so worked up. All I managed to say to her was that she told me to wait till my appointment, and my doctor just took a deep breath, sighed and shook her head, and because like she knew that was totally unacceptable, telling someone in the state I was in to wait till the appointment. So I'm going to like, because I said like I've not got an appointment till 2 weeks on Thursday, I need to see her before then. I said in case I can't get to see her, I'm probably just going to write her a quick letter and tell her what's gone on, how I've got what I've got, and also briefly tell her about what had happened 2 weeks earlier, and tell her that like I almost ended up walking out there and doing something because she refused to let her know that I was there. And I'll just say, look, I'm telling you what she's done now with this patient login details because she's actually broken patient confidentiality, and if it was me I'd be very angry. And I said, you know, so we'll see what happens, but I'm really stressed out. I really need to see my doctor. I'm not happy that the appointment's only 10 minutes long. Like, how are you meant to tell things in 10 minutes? I don't know. What they need to do is get another doctor in full time, or to cover the days when the other doctors are off, and then put the appointments back up to 15 minutes because that actually worked. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I've filmed for way too long. I'm stressed out. I've had a migraine since I've got up. It's eased off a little bit whilst I've been sat here, but I feel dreadful. I'm exhausted. I'm not going to sleep at night. I'm not even telling my doctor any of this because I'm getting rushed out. Like, I just don't know what to do anymore. I just feel honestly like giving up. Like, that's literally where I'm at right now. This is the thing that I got. That I was given this when I went to the doctors and she told me to go online. I'm not going to show you the patient's full name, I'll just show you the first name. And then it's like, tells you how you can go on. And I'm not showing you the rest because it shows you like what to enter. But yeah, I've just wrote my doctor a letter to explain about how I got this, but also how she treated me the other week when I tried to see her, and how she refused, and how basically like it could have ended up with me taking my own life that day because of how I was feeling. I really wasn't in that sort of state. So I don't think my doctor's going to be impressed, but she needs to know what the staff are doing, because if they've done this with me, she's probably done it with other people. And she's really difficult because she basically doesn't really want to know. So I don't even know why she works there, because it's like she doesn't care. Like, I've had problems with her before when I've left messages. I feel like she's not actually passed the messages on. So another month, another 40 toilet rolls that are going to last about a week. Oh, we're joking. A week and a half. No, I don't know how long, but yeah. Some toilet rolls. Got them from Amazon. There's the Amazon box. You don't save that much. It depends what offers are on, because if, as they've got the offer on, we can get that massive pack for a tenner, it actually works out cheaper to buy 2 of those massive packs, and you get more, I think. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, actually, there is one offer that sometimes is on at Asda, but this is more convenient because you get it delivered to you. Anyway, I'm off to use some. Hi everyone, it's Friday now, and I'm not going to film for long where I'm parked because I've literally parked where I can be seen easily. Normally I don't park here, but when I pulled onto this car park and I saw this space, straight away I'm having it. Probably because it's raining. I do have my umbrella, but I just, like, I don't know. I'm not super close to the door or anything, but I'm literally just on this part of the car park that I need to be on. The last time I filmed was Tuesday. Yeah, because I told you about, like, that receptionist and what she's done, giving me other patients confidential stuff. I have seen my doctor yesterday, which was Thursday, obviously it's Friday, and I did tell her what she'd done, not only about that, but how she wouldn't let me see her the other week when I was clearly distressed and in a state, and I was trying to tell her like what was wrong with me and things like that, and she was having none of it. My doctor was like less than impressed, and I don't mean with me, because I honestly thought I was going to get told off for like telling her, because they don't like to hear that the staff aren't like doing what they're meant to do. Because I complained about another reception staff a couple of times, like March, April, but since then her attitude's just totally changed. But I was like really nervous about doing it, and I left it to the last thing, and while she was doing something else I thought I'll just say it now when she's not really concentrating. And I told her, she's like, this is very serious, and she thanked me for telling her, and she said she's going to have to pass it on to the practice manager, who actually I saw for the first time ever when I went in, because I was starting to think she doesn't exist because I've never seen her, but she was on reception yesterday. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I have been told by other people that it's a sackable offence, breaching patient confidentiality like that. But not only has she done that, she's been doing other things, like when she wouldn't let me see the doctor, and even when I was trying to tell her what sort of state I was in, she was basically dismissing me and telling me to go away, basically, and telling me to wait till my appointment, which was over 2 weeks later. So that's what I started off telling her about, what her attitude that day. And I said I was about to ask for the other receptionist, because I heard her when I came in, when she just went in the back room, and my doctor's like, she shouldn't have done what she'd done. I said it's not the first time, but then I said I tried to bring a letter in on Wednesday when I saw her in reception. I just couldn't do it. I said I saw her, and I waited till like a couple of people had gone in front of me, and then I walked in and I saw her in reception. I thought, I can't do it, and I went outside and I just stood there, and I got really upset because I should be able to go in and hand a letter in for my doctor, but she just made me feel like, I don't know, because I said to my doctor she shouldn't be making me feel this way, and she said she shouldn't be. So I don't know what's going to happen. She's probably going to deny what I've said, but they can just check the CCTV and they can see that what had happened, basically, because I was super calm even that day when I was really distressed, and I'm like, I really need to see her. I wouldn't come for no reason. And when I said to my doctor I was just about to ask for the receptionist, because she knows me, that I wouldn't just come in for no reason, she said, I know. But basically that receptionist has been making decisions she shouldn't be making, because when I went in Tuesday, I asked her if she would ask my doctor if she could fit me in this week, and it was a flat out no. So anyway, I'm just about to go in a shop, and I'll check in at some point, I guess. Has anyone seen the advert for this? Managed to just get one. There was actually loads, but when I looked last week there weren't any, and I never buy sandwiches. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. Now I've eaten half, I can review it. So as soon as I opened it, you can literally smell, obviously, prawns, but this is going to sound really stupid, but it smells like when you know when you go to like a fish market and you buy the prawns, literally like that. Really, I don't know how to describe it, but not like a fish market, but it smells better than a normal prawn sandwich. The prawns are bigger than a normal prawn sandwich. The sauce is quite nice, you can taste the lemon, but it's just a bit too fishy for me, for my taste buds anyway. I probably would buy it again because it's not horrific or anything like that. It's got a nice amount of crunchy lettuce on, and I do like the bread because I prefer like wholemeal or whole grain or whole wheat, whatever it is, oatmeal, to white bread. So it is okay, it is worth the £3, and you do actually get a lot of filling in it. So there's my review, and I'm going to have to eat it all before I can drive, because I don't want fish to go flying all over my car, because I don't want my car to smell of fish. I don't think anyone would. So if you remember last week, I got the strawberry and mint version of this, and I liked it, but I don't know. I did like it and I would have it again, but there was just something about it that I wasn't sure about, even though it was a nice refreshing drink. So I saw this one, and it did look like lemon and lime, but on closer inspection you can see that's a cucumber. So it actually smells the same as the one I had last week, even though that was strawberry. There's a scent to it, and it says pressed pasteurised apple juice, freshly squeezed British cucumber juice, lemon juice, orange juice, and British elderflower extract juice drink. So I like it. I think I prefer it to the strawberry one, but I think it's because it's citrus. I know it's not fully citrus, but I do like citrusy type drinks, and it does have lemon in. And I don't actually like apple juice that much, but it doesn't actually taste like apple. So I'd recommend that, even though I think it's $1.75, and it actually looks bigger than what it is. I think it's 500ml. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go because I've got to get to another shop. I know this is like the most random meal ever, but I've got sweet potato fries, sliced green beans that are like still crunchy, 2 Yorkshire puddings with some gravy, and that's what I'm having at near 9:30 at night. Near 20 past 9 at night. It's currently 4:10 in the morning, like literally 4:10 in the morning. Been upstairs about an hour. I do have them. I've got 2 of them, and a thing to go and get an X-ray. But I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, hopefully, or technically today. But because I've not been to sleep, it's still Friday, even though it's technically Saturday. But when you've not been asleep, it's still the same day, as far as I'm concerned. But I want to try and take my makeup off before I lie down, and I really want to lie down, so I'm not really going to say much else other than what I've said. And yeah, I've got all my vlogs scheduled through September and the first one of October, so this is going to be part of the second or third, depending on how much I filmed before this, but I think it's part of the second one of the month. I did hope to film earlier and get enough to make a vlog so I can upload that vlog overnight, but I can't sit and put the clips together and watch the video at this time, and I don't think I've got, because I want them to be about 25 minutes long, I don't think I've got 25 minutes worth of footage. I don't think I'm far off though, but I'm going to go and take the bit of makeup off that's left on my face, because as you can see, it's mainly my eye makeup that's stayed on.